Hello friends, welcome to this lesson on block diagrams according to the ITI syllabus. If you have any feedback, please email us at parijnanmentors@gmail.com. So now we will start this block diagram on SMPS. Now when you see this first diagram, that is the full diagram, I have written there on the top, remember A, P, O, C. Why? Because these are the 4 sections that you must remember to draw. So totally there are 8 squares or blocks that are there, but there are 4 sections. So you see the 4 sections first you must draw, then inside those 4 sections you have to draw the different blocks or squares. So now when you see this, you have to remember A, P, O, C. Okay, now we will go to the drawing of this SMPS. Now when you see this diagram, you will see now first you will draw the 4 sections. So you have first AC input section. The second is the power section. Third is the output section. And the fourth is the controller section. So you have to write 1, 2, 3, 4 and write these down first and draw 4 squares. So but they are not full squares, it is dot, 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 dash, dash. So you will draw that. You can see how big or small you have to draw. Okay, so now you have to, in the first AC input section, you have to draw the arrow and show AC input. AC input in the first one. And down you have to write 1. Then second you draw the arrow to the second section. There you have to write 2. Number 2 you have to write. Then draw an arrow and draw the third square, and there you have to write outside number 3. Then down you draw a little bigger square and you write the number 4 down. Okay, so these 4 you have to write. Then you can see the writing on top, AC input section. You also have to draw the waves which is there. Please remember, on top of each square there is a drawing and writing, that you have to remember. So the first block you say AC input section and you draw arrow like this. Then you draw another one with 1 wave, that you have to draw. Now in the second section you have to write high frequency switch. Then you have to draw a graph with the wave like this. That is the power section. Then you have the third, that is the output section, you have to write on top. Then in outside that you have to write DC voltage, you have to write. Then the arrow goes to the 4th section. There you have to write reference error amplification, AMP or amplification. That is reference or the source error amplification. And this side you have to write opto isolator. Then down you have to write control circuit. On this side you have to write duty cycle control. You have to draw the arrow like this and show the drawing there. Also you can see from fourth to the second there are arrows that you have to draw. In the second square you will see it is written there. There is about also the current. Current is also shown written down there. That also you must write. So all these writings which are there above or below, their 4 names A, P, O, C, all you must write. And down you will write block diagram of SMPS or switched mode power supply. Now we will go to the second drawing. Now you can see in the second drawing you have to write the input filter. Okay, so there you draw the square. You have your figure like this. You have to draw that. That is the input filter. Then the second is the rectifier. A rectifier. You have to draw the square and the diodes. That you have to draw. That finishes the first part, that is AC input section. Now we will go to the second part. In that you have to draw first 2 squares. 1 square you draw. In that you have the MOSFET and the bipolar. 2 poles. Okay, so bipolar. So you have to write that in the block. And on top you have to write high frequency switch. Before you saw, you have to write that on the top. Okay, now we will go to the next block in this. The next block is pulse transformer. That you have to draw a line and the 2 diagrams like this you have to draw. That is the pulse transformer. That finishes the section 2. Now we go to the third section, that is output, rectifying and filtering. Okay, so you have to draw the diode. All you have to draw. Okay, and down you have to write output, rectification and filtering. You must write down there. That finishes the section 3. And on top you can see that is the output section. Now the next you have to draw the connection between the third and the fourth. It will be an arrow like this. Then you draw this reference. That is the source error amplification. You have to write down and you have to draw the square with one triangle. You have to draw that. That is the first part of section 4. Now you have to write 4 in that section. Second is opto isolator. You have to draw it 1 square, inside dash 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 another square. Full no, outside full, then dash that out, and then you draw the circuit inside. That is the second part of section 4. Then you have the last, that is you have the where you have to draw 2 small rectangles you have to draw. Okay, so you in that the first one small on top, that is PWM or pulse width modulator. Then down you have the oscillator. So OSC and PWM are there. To that you have the voltage, which is the source or the reference voltage you have. This whole fourth section you have to know, it is known as control circuitry. So you have this diagram. Now we will go to the last. Now this is the full diagram after drawing, after finishing drawing. So you can see there are 4 sections. You have to name them as AC input, power section, output section and control section. All you have to draw. So 4 sections. Inside each section you have to draw squares. Some are dash 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 dash. So for each section dash 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 dash, but for the block diagram, the first section you have to draw, inside there are two squares. So this is the full diagram. So if you draw and name all the parts, you can get full marks. So now please look and count the number of names that you have to write, so that you will remember. Also remember APOC. That is the name of the 4 sections.